Dive with us into a time machine back to the 1950s when rock and roll was born and Elvis Presley was the king. A post-war baby boom and a surge in technology set the stage for a new era of music, and the 1950s didn't disappoint. It was a time of innovation, of daring, of a cultural shift that would shape the decades to come. In the heart of this revolution was a young man from Mississippi, Elvis Presley. With his soulful voice and electrifying dance moves, Elvis took the world by storm. He was more than just a singer. He was a cultural icon who brought rock and roll into the mainstream. His influence was like a ripple, reaching outwards, touching artists and listeners alike, shaping the future of music. The 1950s set the stage for a musical revolution, and the king, Elvis Presley, was at the forefront. As we journey into the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, we encounter the Beatles' invasion, Aretha Franklin's soul, Elton John's flamboyance, David Bowie's creativity, Michael Jackson's pop reign, and Madonna's audacious performances. The 1960s kicked off with the Beatles, a band from Liverpool, England, that took the world by storm. Their innovative songwriting and harmonies transformed pop music into an art form. Their impact was so profound that they continue to influence artists to this day. On the other side of the Atlantic, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, was making her mark. Her powerful voice and emotive performances brought gospel into mainstream music and paved the way for future soul and R&B artists. As we move into the 1970s, we find Elton John at the height of his fame. His flamboyant performances and catchy tunes dominated the charts. His unique blend of rock and pop catapulted him to international stardom and left an indelible mark on the music industry. Meanwhile, David Bowie, the chameleon of rock, was breaking boundaries with his eclectic music and ever-changing personas. His creativity and innovation pushed the boundaries of what was considered popular music. Entering the 1980s, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, ascended his throne. His innovative music and electrifying performances revolutionized pop music. His album, Thriller, remains the best-selling album of all time, and his influence on music, dance, and fashion is unparalleled. At the same time, Madonna was challenging societal norms with her audacious performances and controversial lyrics. Her ability to reinvent herself and push boundaries made her an icon of the decade and a trendsetter for future pop artists. From the Beatles' harmonies to Madonna's controversies, these decades were a whirlwind of musical innovation and evolution. Venturing into the 90s and the new millennium, we meet vocal powerhouses Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, and witness the rise of hip-hop with Eminem and the reign of Queen Bee, Beyoncé. Mariah Carey, with her 5-octave vocal range, brought a new standard to pop music, while Whitney Houston, with her soul-stirring voice, became a symbol of power and resilience. On the other hand, the 90s also saw the emergence of hip-hop into mainstream culture, with Eminem at the forefront, his raw and provocative lyrics reflecting the struggles of a generation. Then came the early 2000s, and with it, the reign of Beyoncé. From her start with Destiny's Child to her solo career, Beyoncé's dynamic performances and innovative music solidified her as a global icon. The 90s and early 2000s were a time of powerful voices and groundbreaking artists, shaping the music industry as we know it today. Finally, we arrive in the 2010s and 2020s, where Adele's soulful voice, Taylor Swift's catchy tunes, Billie Eilish's unique sound, Ariana Grande's vocal range, and BTS's global impact are revolutionizing music. Adele, with her powerful emotive vocals, has breathed new life into soul music, while Taylor Swift's genre-defying approach has seen her successfully transition from country to pop to indie. Meanwhile, Billie Eilish has carved her own niche with her unconventional sound and lyrical prowess, pushing the boundaries of what pop music can be. Ariana Grande, on the other hand, has been a constant presence in the charts, her impressive vocal range earning her comparisons to the divas of yesteryears. And let's not forget BTS. This South Korean boy band has taken the world by storm, breaking language barriers and proving that music truly is a universal language. As we've seen, the evolution of music is a journey of transformation, innovation, and constant change. Who knows what the next decade will bring?